Hey, it's the Nerdy Sports Fan, and it's my favorite time of year. That's right, fantasy football season. Now, we're digging into the wide receivers for this year. These are a little trickier to call than running backs, but let's dive into it, fellas. All right, so this should be obvious. Michael Thomas is a monster. Um, he's going to probably still be overdrafted. He's likely going to find himself in the top three picks in most drafts because of his Madden rating, but he's pretty worth it. Seriously. Tyree Hill is really only second to Michael Thomas because of the number of targets Thomas gets. Hill does so much more with the ball in his hands afterwards. I mean, deep balls up the wazoo. This guy's not going anywhere for a long time in the top three. Now, DeAndre Hopkins has proven time and time again it does not matter who is throwing him the ball, he's a top five wideout. Point blank, period. Sure, he changed teams, but considering the offense he's moving to, this is likely going to be better for him. Julio Jones ain't going nowhere. All right, this guy is still one of the best examples, height, weight, speed wise, you can give of a perfect wide receiver. And yeah, Matt Ryan really loves throwing him the ball, just apparently not in the end zone. DeVante Adams really needed some help on the opposite side of the ball. He's going to be a target monster because he's the only valid target downfield for Aaron Rodgers. They are going more run heavy, but it's fine since he's the only game in town. I know, I get it. Chris Godwin over Mike Evans? Abso-fucking-lutely. Okay, we saw a little bit of this last year. Bruce Arians' offense loves running through the slot wideout. And considering Tom Brady's got a wet noodle for an arm, closer targets are better. People are sleeping on Amari Cooper. I mean, I understand. You got a different head coach and all, but they're really not changing the offense at all. Dak Prescott's going to be pissed and have a chip on his shoulder because he's not getting paid, and that's going to be very beneficial for Amari Cooper. Seriously, his stats are going to pop. Adam Thielen is in a weird, tricky situation. Yes, the offense is much, much, much more run-heavy, but Stefon Diggs is now gone. Where do you think those targets are going? Half of them, I'm sure, are going right to Thielen. Speaking of Stefon Diggs, he's the clear-cut number one receiver in probably the entirety of the AFC East now that he's been traded away from the Vikings. His route running will more than make up for any accuracy issues that Josh Allen has. Expect him to blow up. Odell Beckham Jr. is the absolute definition of chip on his shoulder. Look, the Browns, they took a thumping last year. Everybody was calling them as a Super Bowl pick. I expect them to bounce back with a bit better coaching than what they had last year. Some honorable mentions. It was very hard keeping Juju Smith-Schuster off this list. He's really in competition with Odell for 10. And please, like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate the support. Coming up next week, we got tight ends and quarterbacks.